Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In today's video I am doing my kind of go-to glam look. I wore this over the Christmas period, I wore it for New Year's Eve, I wore it over Christmas. I just love this so much and there's no way that I am ditching this red lip ever. I'm just going to wear it for the rest of my life. So if you want to watch how I got this look, keep on watching. So I've already gone ahead and applied my skincare and everything like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Glossier Balm.com and I'm just going to prep my lips with that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows. The first thing I take is the Glossier Boy Brow, which I've basically run out of. I'm just using the last of it up. And I like to fill in my brows with this first so that I can kind of get an understanding of the shape and everything. And then I like to go in afterwards with something like my Anastasia Dip Brow just to fill in the sparse areas. To prime my eyelids, I'm going to go ahead and use a concealer. I just like using concealer, and the one that I'm going to try today is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. So Makeup Revolution have just come out with their new line of concealers. Basically what I've had is a lot of comparisons to the Tarte Shape Tape, which I do like. I've just never had it in the right shade. I picked these up because I heard that it's a dupe for Tarte, and if you haven't heard all of the controversy about Tarte the past sort of week, they decided to make a foundation version of it. Tarte must either just be stupid or doing it on purpose, but the lack of range and diversity in the new foundation line is just actually appalling. And so there's been a lot of backlash about it, but the thing that makes it worse is Tarte's response. They didn't come out quickly and apologise and say to people of colour, you know, we are really sorry for not representing you and thinking of you. Instead, they spoke to Pop Sugar, I think. They spoke to a magazine and said, we're going to release 10 more foundation shades. And it's kind of just a kick in the teeth, because it's like, well, why are people of colour an afterthought? You are only doing this to make up for the mistake that you made in the first place, but you shouldn't really, as a massive beauty company, be making this mistake in the first place. So Makeup Revolution released 18 shades straight off the bat of their concealer, and the Makeup Revolution is available in Superdrug and online in the UK, and I'm pretty sure you can get it in America, and it is £4. So to prime my lids, I'm going to use the lighter shade, which is C3, and just dot that on. I actually have a spot here, so we'll see if it covers that. Wow, this is blending out so nicely. I'm just going to go ahead and set that with my RCMA No Colour Powder, you know the drill. So I'm actually going to move you guys in a little bit so you can see stuff a little bit better. Moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to dip into my Tarte Le Toasted palette, and I'm going to take the shade Latte here just as my transition colour. Just going to start working that into my inner and outer corners. So to deepen it up a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and dip into this shade here from my Huda Beauty Warm Obsessions palette. Once again, just pop this right there and blend it out. So on a smaller brush, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade next to it, which is just this really nice, rich brown. And I'm just going to focus this right on my outer corner. And then also taking it right into my inner corner, which is kind of difficult because I have the world's smallest eyes. So to deepen up that outer corner even more, I'm going to dip into my Tartelette in Bloom palette, and I'm going to take the shade Leader, which is this really nice rich red brown, and I'm just going to take that on a pencil brush and pop it right there. For the lid colour, I'm going to go ahead and take one of my favourite products ever, and it is the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Kitten Karma. So because the applicator is quite large and my eyes are tiny, what I like to do is take it on a flat kind of shader brush, and I just take a little bit off of the wand. And all I'm going to do is place this in the center of my lid, right in the middle where I want the most pigment. And then all I'm going to do is flip my brush over to the side that has no product on it and just softly pat the edges so that it blends out. So when that's dry, I'm just going to take my brush and just softly blend inwards at the edges just to make everything blend together. So now that that's done, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a little bit of mascara. I'm still using up the last of my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. So moving on to skin, I really wanted to try this Makeup Revolution liquid highlighter. I usually stray away from products like this because it's just not really my thing. It's just always a bit too much. But I did want to try this underneath my foundation. I've heard that these are really similar to the iconic London drops, also the Marc Jacobs Dew drops. I can't remember the name for them. So I picked this up and thought I would try it. So this is what it looked, well, that is extremely metallic. So what I'm going to do is just take this on the high points of my face, and I'm actually going to buff it out with this brush. It is the Zoeva 103 Defined Buffer brush. As you'd kind of expect with a highlighter like this, it's kind of brought out the texture in my skin quite a lot. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to take my e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation in the shade Porcelain. You guys know I love this stuff. And I'm just going to blend that in with a damp Real Technique sponge. I do feel like with the drops underneath, and then also just with the natural glow of this foundation, I do feel like it's giving me a really nice glow. So moving on to under eyes, I'm going to correct with my Becca Under Eye Corrector. You guys know I love this stuff. So moving on to concealer, I'm going to go ahead and try the Makeup Revolution concealers. I'm going to take the shade C6 and apply it where I need to actually conceal, so just in the dark spots. This is very thick. It is very, very similar to the Shape Tape so far. And then I'm going to take the lighter shade C3 and I'm just going to use that to highlight a little bit as well. What I will say about this concealer is obviously I don't know how it wears so far, but it is super, super creamy. It is very full coverage, but it feels extremely hydrating. So I'm going to go ahead and set my under eyes using the RCMA No Colour Powder. So moving back onto my lower lash line, I'm going to take this shade here and I'm just going to buff that on the outer and inner part of my eye. Then using the same brush, I'm going to take that slightly darker shade and pretty much just replicate what I've done on the top. And then I'm going to take the tiniest bit of Leader and just buff that right on my outer corner and connect it to the top too. And then taking the tiniest amount of the Stila Kitten Karma, I'm just going to place that right in the middle. So moving on to my face, I'm going to go ahead and contour a little bit with my Milani contour stick. I'm honestly baffled and grateful that there is the tiniest nubbin of this left. And I'm actually just taking this on a brush and I'm just going to buff that onto my cheeks. And then to highlight, because I used the liquid drops, I don't think I'm going to use these actually over my foundation. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of gilded honey, I think. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of gilded honey, just the tiniest amount, and just pop that over the top. And then for blush out, I'm going to take my Glossier Cloud paint in the shade Dusk. And I'm just going to pop that onto my cheeks. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my lashes off camera, but the ones that I'm using are the Red Cherry lashes in the style Wispy. I love these lashes for this look because they're just dramatic enough, but also they're very wispy, so you can still kind of see what's going on in the eyes. So for lips, I've been loving this bright blue toned red. This is the Stila liquid lipstick in the shade Besso. So this is a finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next Friday.